Imagine waking up in a country where everything in your life is affected by sanctions imposed by powerful nations. From the price of bread to the apps you use on your phone, everything carries the weight of geopolitics. Now add a layer of rich history, breathtaking landscapes, and resilient people. This is life in Iran in 2025, a nation at the crossroads of ancient heritage and modern struggles. A place where the spirit of its people thrives despite economic hardships and global isolation. Does it sound like a paradox? Yes, it is. Let's take a deep dive into what it means to live in the world's most sanctioned country. Let's talk first of all about the elephant in the room: sanctions. For decades, Iran has been under one of the world's most comprehensive sanction regimes. But in 2025, it feels as if the walls have closed in even tighter. For instance, you head to the local supermarket to buy groceries. The prices have doubled since last month. A loaf of bread that once cost 30,000 toman is now 70,000. Cooking oil? Don't even ask. It's either unavailable or outrageously expensive. Fuel shortages are the norm, yet Iran is one of the largest oil producers in the world. How ironic is that? You think, isn't this a country sitting on a sea of oil? Yes, but sanctions on oil exports mean most of it stays underground or is sold at a fraction of its worth through backdoor deals. Another nightmare is financial transactions. Due to global banking restrictions, Iranians cannot use international payment systems such as PayPal or Visa. Try running a business without being able to buy anything internationally because international trade is almost impossible. Living in Iran during 2025 is a never-ending maze full of challenges, from electricity to water. And even though in the infrastructure issues Iran went far, some people now have suffered regular power failure in the counties, and all say, recharge your cell phone and laptop when electricity is on, because you have no idea whether it will continue working again or not. Then there's inflation. If you thought you ever witnessed dreadful inflation, you haven't seen Iran's. The national currency, the rial, has devalued so severely that even small deals run into millions. A regular Iranian might be heard saying, "I'm a millionaire and I hardly have enough money for a kilo of meat." But it's what most people can afford. Private cars? Well, with fuel prices skyrocketing and spare parts unavailable or smuggled at high rates, owning a car feels like a luxury. And don't even get me started on housing. In cities like Tehran, rent prices are so high that families often share apartments just to make ends meet. It's not uncommon to see 3 generations living under one roof. Despite the hardships, education remains a priority for Iranian families. Schools and universities continue to produce some of the brightest minds in the region. But the journey is far from smooth. Imagine being the dream student, going abroad after all hard work, excelling in entrance exams, admission into a fine university in Europe. But still, there came visa hurdles that barred or put many countries with restrictions on entering for Iranian students because of all these sanctions and geopolitics. Even in Iran, access to quality education is uneven. In urban centers, elite schools and universities offer world-class facilities, while schools in rural areas often lack proper classrooms or internet access. Yet, the resilience of Iranian students is inspiring. They find ways to excel, often using whatever resources they can find. Online courses, local study groups, and sheer determination keep their dreams alive. Iran's healthcare system is one of the better-equipped ones in the region, but it's buckling under the weight of sanctions. Medical supplies, including life-saving drugs, are often in short supply. Why? Because sanctions restrict imports, even for humanitarian goods. Hospitals are unable to keep equipment in good working order because spare parts are scarce. For the average Iranian, getting treatment has become expensive and complicated. Private hospitals charge fees that many cannot afford, while public hospitals are overcrowded and understaffed. Patients wait for months to get appointments, even for critical conditions. It gets bleak, huh? But Iran's healthcare providers remain optimistic, going the extra mile to ensure lives are saved. Let's talk about Iran's soul, the culture. For all the problems it faces, Iran is a center of creativity and thoughtfulness. From the poetry of Rumi to the intricate designs of Persian carpets, Iranian culture is evidence to the country's rich history. Walk through the bazaars of Isfahan or Shiraz, and you'll see artisans crafting stunning works of art, often using techniques passed down for generations. Let's not forget Iranian cinema either. With filmmakers such as Asghar Farhadi, the film industry has gained international recognition and tells stories that cater to mass audiences. Under pressures of censorship and with little resources, one would say artists seem to be very resourceful, turning defeat into masterpieces. Think again. Iran's culture scene is an evidence of creativity. In terms of social dynamics, it is an incredible mix of old and new Iranian society. So while some are rooted firmly in customs and religious practices passed down from earlier generations, younger generations are crying out for changes. The most powerful role to assume is that of women. Iranians are very literate and also active in every field, but still facing pressure. Mandatory dressing, limited freedoms, and many other societal pressures exert an unstoppable pull. Still, Iranian women broke these barriers, which is in the field of science, sports, or politics. Then there is censorship. Social media sites are severely restricted, but Iranian tech-savvy citizens bypass it through VPNs. These contradictions form a unique social fabric where tradition and innovation coexist in a delicate balance. Despite everything, Iranians are among the most resilient people you'll ever meet. They've endured wars, sanctions, and internal challenges, yet they continue to find joy in life. Family gatherings are a cornerstone of Iranian culture. Whether it's Nowruz, Persian New Year, or a simple weekend dinner, families come together to share food, stories, and laughter. Even in tough times, Iranians celebrate. Weddings are grand affairs, filled with music, dancing, and good food. And let's not forget their love for poetry and storytelling. It's a way of preserving their heritage and finding solace in difficult moments. So, what will the future of Iran be? Hard to tell. The obstacles are huge, but so is the potential. Iran is endowed with natural resources, has a young and educated population, and boasts a strategic location. If sanctions were removed and reforms put in place, the country could flourish. Until then, however, life in Iran will be a complex mix of beauty, hardship, and resilience. Iran is anything but normal. A place where ancient traditions clash with modern struggles, where hardship fuels creativity, and where resilience is a way of life. So, what do you think? Is Iran the most sanctioned country in the world? Or the most resilient? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more stories about that.